Good morning. It's lovely to be back with you and delighted to share once again on the principles and practices of a new earth. And again, this arises from our relationship with eternity, which we achieve via cultivating stillness or emptiness. This is the portal. It opens the portal, the energetic portal to eternity or the timeless realm. And we talked before about, what exists in eternity is everything, of course, all past, all future. Some have called this collection of human consciousness the Akashic records. So the point is that we have access to this universal mind, this unlimited energetic principle. And because we have access to it, we have unlimited resources at our disposal. Okay. All of this resource comes in the form of energy, and literally we've talked about the membrane of light. So we experience as we connect, and ideally as we develop this relationship, we learn to walk with one foot in eternity, one foot in the world. So we are directly a representative of eternity, of heaven, of God, of the unmanifested. We are an emissary, an ambassador, an agent. Okay, we represent this energetic principle. And how we do that is simply by extending or giving from this unlimited resource. So the idea of generosity is easy when we have direct access to infinite abundance. Okay, so our relationship with time changes, so we're very easy to be generous with our time because we have the sense that we have is that time is literally without limit, which is true. Okay, so again, playing in the space-time dream, to many people in the dream, they think of time as a commodity that has limited amounts. And so people oftentimes that are living unconsciously are at war with time. They don't have a happy relationship with time. Time is seen as an enemy, more or less. And so that anxiety or whatever, the individual at that level of consciousness, it really doesn't have much of anything to give because they see the world, they see everything as limited commodities, and they're trying to get, they see the world as forgetting from. Okay, it's the essence of unconsciousness. They've forgotten their true essence, and so they see the world as a place to get, to receive entertainment, stimulation, satisfaction, whatever. So again, that egoic consciousness is a getting machine. It's a endlessly, it's like the sandpiper running back and forth on the beach, up and down, up and down, up and down, endlessly striving. Okay. So again, what we're talking about is a total shift where there's no more striving, there's no more getting, there's no reason to get, because we're absolutely full due to our relationship with the timeless realm. We're absolutely full of energy, full of light, of love, of joy, abundance. So it's very easy to see our life as giving, forgiving. The world is forgiving too. That's the nature of forgiveness, that we've reversed the consciousness of the egoic, let alone the tribal. The tribal simply lost in an impossible battle for survival. At the egoic level, it's more like a game, but the game is seek but do not find. So it's endlessly seeking, seeking experience, seeking knowledge, seeking enlightenment, seeking self-improvement. Okay, so, and again, the egoic mind is always in competition with other egos. So it's, you know, it's a very unhappy state. I've talked before about, you know, the literary use Robert Johnson used in his book Transformation, using Don Quixote to describe the fully unconscious tribal mind, just lost in delusions. And Hamlet as the tortured egoic mind that's just at odds with everything but can't ever achieve success. So everything becomes a tragedy. So we're seeing now on the global scale, you know, the tragedy of this egoic consciousness as it implodes upon itself. And so, like I've mentioned many times to those that have ears to hear, you know, we have a very important role, those of us that have become the liminal cells of the Homo glymulus, you know, the early stages of this developing species. Okay, we are a new species, separate from Homo erectus and Homo sapien. So the role we have to play today is powerful, beyond comprehension, really, because we're here to demonstrate, okay, with this generosity, this ease, this comfort, this delight, that life in a new earth, heaven on earth, that we are creating, life is meant to be fabulously delightful, filled with ease and comfort and pleasure and joy and happiness and whatever, because that's available to us in unlimited amounts. Okay, when you just look at these attributes of paradise, okay, endless beauty of nature, easy to be generous with that, and our relationship with time gives us very great ease with time. So it's very easy to be patient and tolerant, compassionate, because we don't have any anxiety about how things should be. You know, our consciousness is rooted in perfection. There's no reason to improve anything. It's perfect. Okay, great line from A Course in Miracles. Again, is the end of the world is not its destruction, but its translation into heaven. So we are the translators of this world into heaven. Okay, so my experience now is I'm living in heaven. Okay, heaven on earth has been created by my mind, and it basically manifests, you know, many years where it was like, practicing, oh, here's a manifestation. Oh, okay. The manifestation in space and time, it was, again, just in gestation. Okay. But now for those of us who are ready, we're birthing it. It's becoming a reality. It's a reality for me. How I live, where I live, what my life is now. For the rest of my days, my life is devoted to one thing, okay? Being an endless fountain of expression of my appreciation, my joy, my enthusiasm for this role that I have as Sun King, okay? Because each of us has this role to play. And I've talked many times about naming that character, naming that role as very different from your tribal self, your egoic self, which, you know, we carry along with us. It's what takes care of the body and the person. But that's easy. Again, at this level, that's easy. It's easy to care for the body. It's easy to care for the person. Neither are very needy, because they're not. I mean, it's pretty simple to take care of a body which is at peace, right? It's not easy to take care of a body or a person that is diseased or filled with dysfunction, has all kinds of emotional or mental challenges, whatever. So those of us that are in this rarefied realm, you know, being patient, being tolerant with those that are still in this dysfunctional tribal and egoic prison. Okay. But again, to create the opportunity to create this model that can show others the possibility of living in total peace, total harmony, total happiness. There's nothing any longer lacking. There's no sense of lack. There's no striving. There's nothing to accomplish. Fully self-realized beings have nothing they need to do. So how do they spend their time? Giving out of endless generosity, giving their time, giving their joy, giving their peace, giving their light, giving their energy. Just again, like I say, an endless fountain of giving, because that's the point of life, is to give. The greatest line from A Course in Miracles says, to have, give all to all. If you're endlessly giving, then it's evidence that you have. You have without limit. You have without end. There's no end, and there's no end to this life. Literally, is we, you know, again, we're representing eternity. Someday, you know, I'll drop my body and my person, but that doesn't stop my function as Sun King. I will continue giving and giving and giving. You know, only now, in this time-space moment, am I using the body as my communication device, using my person as a communication device. It isn't necessary. It might seem necessary to you. How else would I communicate? But we're moving into a realm where there's no bodies, there's no people, okay? You know, again, we're just representing this entry level, you know, this is the kindergarten of a new earth. In the more advanced levels of the new earth, there's no people, there's no body. So, you know, again, this may be hundreds or thousands of years in our human future, but the point is, as we spend time in this timeless realm, we're witnessing that. We're actually experiencing that, because what appears to be in the future to the world, space-time world, already exists. Okay? So we're talking about a consciousness and an existence as a species that'll go on for tens or hundreds of thousands of years in Earth time, but it already exists. We are already there. We just are dipping our toe in it, but we're there. We're feeling how it, experiencing how it is, how it feels to be in eternity. Okay, so you know, literally, eternity is forever. But we will have the experience, like I've already had the experience of, say, living for about 1,000 years. relative to my space-time world. This will just continue to expand where it'll be like someday like, wow, it's really like 1,000,000 years, or it's really like 1,000,000,000 years. I mean, there's no way to really put a frame around it because it's beyond that. So again, we're talking about a level of generosity that is beyond human comprehension, because humans can't really, Homo sapien, humans and Homo erectus, certainly cannot fathom what I'm talking about. But I have a sense that you can, if you're listening to this, if you've been following my series of these short videos, then there's a part of you that knows what I'm talking about. Maybe you've experienced it a little bit yourself already, but you know enough from things that you've read, from listening to other awakened beings, that it exists, that this awakened state exists, and it's not something that we need to ascend or transcend this world to discover. It exists here and now in this world, and I'm just one of many ambassadors to tell you that it exists. I know it. It's for me as normal as you can imagine. Okay, it's something that's always been present in the world. It just hasn't been easy to access it because of the interference patterns that have been running in the collective mind of humans. Okay, so it's taken this many thousand years of evolution, okay, to more or less return to a place in this endless cycling of life, to return to a place that people understood very well 3, 4, 5, 6,000 years ago. You know, it's represented for me at a young age. I stumbled upon Lao Tzu's the Tao Te Ching, and it was very clearly evident to him, and I'm assuming other Taoist masters knew the same truth that I'm talking about now. It didn't seem radical then, because it's just the nature of existence. But we went through this very dark time, several thousand years of insanity, becoming totally separate from that divine presence that is life, that is nature, that's the bird song, the sunrise. They knew this. The Incas knew this. There were different groups that knew, the Mayans that knew the Egyptians. I mean, there have been these different cultures that had more access because there wasn't so much of this interference pattern running. The past several hundred years, particularly in the West, has been horribly, insanely ignorant. You know, so they make up all these crazy stories, the Christ story, the whatever, make religions around it, and everybody's fighting. And it's just, it has been a very insane period. So we're coming out of that. You know, what's going on now appears to be the pinnacle of insanity. Well, it's just the dissolution of this crazy time. So there are people that feel empowered to help resolve the problem of insane, ignorant humans. And so their plan is to kill all the insane, ignorant humans via the vaccine and other methods. It's a genocide, but it's all part of evolution to make way for the new world order, to some, a new earth for me and others. So either way, it's new. It's a whole new ball game. So again, I've mentioned many times, everyone's going to have that very clear choice. It's not like 6 or 7 or 10 options. There's two. Okay, it's like the book, Stephen King's book, The Stand. You've got what appears to be evil over here, and you've got what appears to be holy Over here, you get to choose. So anyway, a great time, a fun time, exciting time, infinite generosity. This is what I'm here to represent, that I have infinite joy in sharing with you the very good news. If you're interested, again, we have this place here in Ecuador. You're very welcome. Anyone that wants to live in total peace and harmony, if you're ready for it. I mean, some people say, oh yeah, I want it, but you come up with 5 reasons why you're not really ready for it. So it's okay. If you're ready, come on down. We got space. We're going to build our community here over the next several years. 40, 50, 60 beautiful humans that are ready to live, even if it's baby steps, practicing being the new species, participants in this new earth. And it's a great place, let me tell you that. I love you so much. Have a great day. Don't take anything too seriously, including me.